Hello everybody, welcome back to my SnowRunner Hard Mode playthrough. I'm about to try something reckless, quite nervous. I'm kind of rushing to get it started a little bit because it is about to get dark. And anybody who's familiar with the game will be able to see what I'm about to try and do. Now, I've put this off because this could be an expensive mistake. But we're closing in on the last tasks. I was wrong in the last episode. There's another task apart from this one. I'll explain that in a bit, but I just want to make an attempt at this while it's still daylight. A bit of daylight. I wouldn't say this is daylight, but let me try to get myself. And again, usual problem, if I'm rushing it, am I making silly mistakes by rushing it? Should I just try and find something else to do between now and the next sunrise? The game's in-game clock is not cooperating with my recording schedule. So I have to cross this, and I am just going to go for it. So I'm going to make sure I'm in low, I'm going to make sure I've got a diff lock on. And before we lose the last bit of sun rays, I'm going to go for it. I'll try and focus and talk at the same time. Not always easy. I had a comment correcting one of my previous assumptions about a previous comment with the heavy construction rig transfer. One of the comments said that they had used the river crossing to get that construction rig across, and I thought that meant the little bit of muddy river crossing in. Well, that was a lot easier than expected, right? A little bit of muddy river crossing in Drummond Lake, but it's not, it's this one, including all the way over to the other side. So that's why I'm attempting this now, and it will become apparent, but I have to keep moving while I've got a bit of daylight. So that one is done, and I've put that off for ages. Apologies a little bit for the rushed commentary, but I've literally got to keep moving. So I didn't even dream about the fact that having delivered that, I could just continue here to the other side of the map. And in the comment, the person said that they use this route to move the construction rig trailer, the large, heavy, oversized cargo, from Drummond Island to the drill site. And obviously this is a much more direct route than going all the way around the way that I did in my episode. I haven't scouted this, so I'm kind of, which is why I'm going while I've got daylight, and lights might help as well. This is a very impressive route to come across with that huge heavy construction rig. I can see the attraction because it's almost a straight line from the gateway to the drilling site. But blimey, I think I would have been pretty nervous trying to do this. And I'm nervous now because if I slip off this, I have no choice but to pay to recover. And I did that in the last episode and I hated it. But I think I've done it. So thank you very much for the comment, because that made for a what I found very exciting start to the episode. So we've just driven, and now that I'm back on terra firma, I will park up, engine off. We've just driven from the drilling site, which you can just about see past the tree there, all the way across that river, and completed the task that I've been putting off for a while. Wow, that's a little bit of an adrenaline rush for me to start the episode with, but that task I've been putting off for ages, and it's now done. And I used the Fleet Star for it. It's rated as being the task recommends off-road vehicle, and I managed to do it with the Fleet Star. So that's quite cool. I like that. But the comment basically said with the heavy trailer, I assume this route down through here and then across what I've just done but in reverse, and probably there and into the drilling site to deliver that construction rig trailer, rather than going all the way around the twisty mountain path, across the dam, through the farm, and all the way around the logging station and down into the drilling site. So it's probably maybe an eighth of the distance, I'm gonna guess. Maybe so somewhere between. Yeah, it's more than a quarter save, but yeah, very impressive to do that with a big trailer. And I don't think I've done that on my campaign mode save yet. I don't think I've done that contract, so I'm pretty sure that on my campaign mode save, I'm going to try that. See if the P16 can do exactly that route with that heavy construction trailer. Without that comment, I wouldn't have just attempted what I did. Now, why am I doing that? Why did I attempt that there and then? Why did I start the episode with that? Simple reason. Last episode, we cleared away the cargo collection, cement bags and oil barrels tasks on this side of the map. And I said that apart from the one we've just done and contests, we were done on this map. And we weren't. And I hadn't tagged this unfortunate event, and I think this is the same spot that the oil rig one was from, so I maybe just saw the marker for a task and assumed it was the oil rig one. Oil barrel one, not oil rig, oil barrels. But there's another task in the same area, unfortunate event, and I only actually found it, I didn't find it by seeing it on the map. I found it because in here I noticed that in addition to the contest task givers, there was this unfortunate event task giver that I hadn't yet been to and seen and tagged the mission. And that task is basically to collect barrels again, but the first of them is here, and that's why I've come across this route to get to this side of the map to pick up that first barrel with the Fleet Star. Hopefully that makes sense. The second of them is here, and then they've got to be delivered to the warehouse, and then the third one is right next to the warehouse there. So I'm hoping, fuel permitting, that I'll be able to now come across this road, pick up the first two barrels, get back to the warehouse, deliver them, and refuel because there's a trailer there. So that's the start of the episode. But something else, so not seeing that task made me think, well, have I actually cleared everything else on the map? And I discovered something else. What I've done is I've gone through each map and compared on Map Runner the tasks with what I've done in the game. And there is, I said previously, and probably by now comments have corrected my mistake, but I said previously that there wasn't a contest on Drummond Island, and there is. Map Runner says there is, and it's the same problem I previously spoke about with upgrades not being exposed by the watchtowers. Right here in this fog of war, right where you can see the shadow of a trailer there is another task, and I scouted that out on my campaign mode save. And it's one where you need a scout, or I think it's best with a scout. And it's basically a time trial to get from this car park to this farm. I can't tag it because I'm not on this map. But there's another little bit of the same type of road stuff that we've just done. And I'm going to use a scout vehicle for it. So I've previously, before starting recording, I staged the Chevy pickup truck down here and refueled it at the fuel station. So in a little bit during this episode, we'll jump into the Chevy and do that contest as well. And I'm a bit nervous about that because there's another one where if I fall off these rocks, and they're not massively big rocks, if I fall off the rocks, I've got to pay to recover. That's too big a river for me to think about doing. Depending on where I fall, obviously. I doubt if I'll be doing recoveries. There's no trees and things to recover yourself with an autonomous scout winch. So anyway, without further ado, I need to come across here. Hope that this trail is okay for the Fleet Star, and grab first that fuel. And now it's dark because I've been talking. But it was getting dark anyway, which is why I rushed to get that river crossing done. And it's probably one of those things that it's better that I just rushed it, because I overthink things quite a lot. It's in and out of game. It's a trait of me. I am well known as an overthinker, and I just got on with it rather than overthinking it, and maybe that made it work. I don't know. But at the same time, sometimes I just rush and fall over. So I don't know. It was successful, and it could have been bad. So we're going to get, basically in this episode, I don't know if I'll have time to do it. I would love to complete everything except the logging contracts. And then I suspect the logging contract, and then I'll be refitting the trucks, which is one of the reasons for doing this in this order. I also said in the last episode that I might do logging next. The reason I haven't done that is that these trucks are equipped for the tasks that remain. And I know it's just swapping stuff in a garage, it's no big deal, but I'm not overflowing with spare fuel to be driving them around to equip them and then drive them back and unequip them. I need to try and be a little bit fuel conscious. So after this one, assuming that I can complete this one, there are then basically 3 contests, 2 on this map and that one that I just talked about on Drummond Island. Right, so I can see the marker for the fuel barrels on my left, just ahead of me. As we discovered in the last episode, these barrels are very heavy and do have a tendency to make the truck a bit top heavy. I've got fuel, but I haven't got fuel to just wait. Get back on the track and see if I can get myself moved along a little bit. And try and come in, just nose muscle my way wheels towards, get close enough that I can use the crane to drag that thing out without getting myself stuck in a swamp. That may be enough to get the crane. Crane, legs down. If it's enough to get the crane attached, I'll drag it from there. Yeah. move myself forward. First of all, I'll come back a little bit. Can't really see the trail, which is not great. Gotta sort out my shifting. It's so difficult sometimes with the mouse and keyboard to change gear. Right, engine off, let's work out exactly where the route to the next one is. So I'm going to be turning left, follow this line, and then somewhere around here. Depending on what it looks like, I basically need to come across to there. But I can't actually see anything that looks like a trail. Stay close to these trees, I suppose. And then try and turn left, but within reach of the trees to help myself. There we go. Pretty unfriendly place to be in the dark. Right, so I need to find a route through to the barrel. Probably trying to stay as far from the actual coastline as I can. So we'll see if I can come through these trees. Is that one I can just push over? No. It's a bit difficult to tell. Sometimes that looks fairly small. Looked like I could have bullied my way through it, maybe. Completely missed this task on the map. I don't know how. Again, I don't really like that. Those reeds are just a sign that it's boggy, swampy mess. So I want to try and stay among the trees if I can. And pull it from a distance like I did just now. Super sticky Spider-Man tree. Way more powerful than my big V6 3-litre engine. Right, so let's just see if that's close enough for me to winch it, to crane it again. Anchor, crane. Extend it. I can attach to it, that's all that matters really. Because if I can attach to it, and I don't pull myself over, not too bad. Restore crane, unpack cargo, repack cargo. Now, what's my route out? So ideally, I want to try and get, if those trees will permit it, over there and down here onto the track, and then through there, and I'm right next to my fuel. So that's what I want to try and achieve, but it depends on whether what this little saddle of rock looks like with the trees. Bouncing again because I'm pretty heavy. Right. Is this a saddle of rock that I can get over without risking myself tipping? Blimey, no. Look, it's alright this side, but the other side is quite a steep drop. I don't fancy it. Need to find another way. Fuel that I can't really spare. And then the third barrel is just there, but I'm not even going to chance it. It's quite tree dense, isn't it? Come on, give me a break. Let me through. Give me a way through. It's definitely the dark isn't helping me at all. Bit of a slingshot around the tree there. There's got to be somewhere I can get through this. That looks like a line I can take. So far, anyway. Right, that's the trail. Engine off to save my precious fuel. Cancel that out. That's the first trail. If I can get through here, I'm on the road. I'm close enough to that fuel tank that I can smell the fuel from it. So I want to go left here, leave the road, through this little gully, or washout, or whatever it would be called. No. What would an episode be without me rolling it over stupidly on the road? I did all of that work through the off-road bit, and then I roll it over right on the road. And I had enough fuel to get back successfully. You could cry about it. Get on with it, get down there, get it back on its wheels, get it delivered. Can't believe that I did all of that. That's what I do, isn't it? I get complacent. I think, oh, I've done the hard bit now, and then I relax. And then reality bites me in the ass. I think I did everything right there, except for that last 2 seconds of carefully getting onto the tarmac. Right. Back to where we should have been 5 or 6 minutes ago. For me. Don't know how much I'll time lapse or edit that. Deliver this one. These two. Get some fuel from our big fuel carrier, the semi one. We haven't got a hell of a lot of fuel left on this map, which is why in the last episode I was buying fuel from the fuel station for both expediency, but also because I know I'm almost out on this map anyway. And I'm a little bit loath to just grab fuel from the island maps because I know I've got to go in there and do logging. So it's not a case of just bring it here because I don't know how much I'll need down there for logging. And the fuel station here is cheaper than buying fuel in Drummond Island. And you don't even have the option to buy fuel in Island Lake. No, you don't. Right, see if I can pick this up without tipping over somewhere on the journey. What are the odds? Oh no, you're having a laugh. Really? Really? What? What did I tip over on then? What? Come on, I'll take it when it's my fault, but what? No, I am not accepting that one as being my fault. Deja vu all over again. Try again. It's trying to go again now. These rocks are brutal. I think I said in a previous episode that I feel in this game like the devs leave you traps. Well, there you go. I consider that to be a trap and myself to be a victim. Anchor, crane. Don't get me wrong, if I was a dev I'd probably leave traps too. But that was pure evil. Whoa, what happened there? This is a... what? That was a bit glitchy. Even the oil barrels don't like these rocks. I wonder if these rocks have got like a bigger collision box than the rock size. So they look like they're the size of a medicine ball, but they collide as if they're the size of atlas stones. I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses. That driver will slow the train and very carefully trying to reverse myself out of this deck crap. And I've got a... unfortunately that's just cost me more time than is obviously apparent from the recording, because the Fleet Star was in the garage for a reason. The White Western Star was in the garage for a reason. And now I've got to take it back. But let's focus on one task at a time. Let's get this oil barrel delivered. Right, okay, so now that is literally Michigan, all tasks except contest and logging contracts finished. And I'm very sure of that because I've double checked every map against the Map Runner website. So I will need to get both of these trucks back to the garage because I want to put the the sideboard bed on the White Western Star and use it for the contest on this map. But before doing that, while it's daylight, over to Drummond Island and do the next dangerous thing that's probably going to cause me loads of trouble. I'm really nervous about this one because this is one that if I screw it up it's an expensive mistake. But it's daylight and it's as good a time as any to do it. So let's give it a go. And just to confirm before we get there that you cannot see, so both here in terms of items there's no task giver. So we've got all of the watchtowers on this map. You cannot see anything there other than the fact there's a grayed out trailer that I never went to. So therefore, you know, arguably I should have explored and seen something there. But yeah, there is a time trial contest tucked away, hidden in that little corner. And I probably would have got to the end, done all the logging, and been trying to work out why I was only 98% complete, and probably taken me ages to find it. But yeah, that's what it is. This truck needs a bodywork repair. Look at it. Looks like it's been through demolition derby. Right, so full disclosure, I have done this on my campaign mode, and I did it in time and didn't lose my truck. But of course, hard mode is a little bit more dangerous than that. But it's sunlight, so what we will have to do. And now that I've discovered it, I can see it there as a task giver. I can now look at it. What I have to do is no cargo, nothing fancy. There's no cab restrictions. There's nothing except the usual: no recovery, no truck change, no garage. I've got to get through here, across here, down there, across this stony bit, and into the farm, because to get gold I only have 1.5 minutes to do it. So obviously there's no way you're going to be going around any other route. This is the only route you can use that would get you gold. And 1.5 minutes, I guess, is probably people do this in 30 seconds in mental great big like takers with balloons or something, but I'm going to give it a go with this. So handbrake is off, all-wheel drive is on. I'm nervous about this because if I drop it in the water, it could be a recovery. So let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Go. Bash my engine as I go. Nearly tip over on the barrels as I go. Drive a little bit carefully through here so I don't tip. Down onto this piece of stone. And then follow the stone trail, and it's a tighter trail, which is why in my campaign mode the Chevy was on the map, but so I scouted it in the Chevy. This is a tight enough twisty bit that I didn't really want to try this on a bigger truck. In hard mode, I almost don't care about getting gold. Obviously I want gold just for to say I've done it, but right, gold. 1 minute 25. I was 5 seconds. 5 seconds inside gold for that. Right. So yeah, I've done it. That was my first attempt of 3. In the interest of progress on the episode, I'm just going to do the other 2 attempts off camera because I don't need to repeat it. I know it's exciting stuff, but. Right, so I am going to swap some stuff around on these trucks. So I'll drive both of these trucks back to the garage and swap some stuff around to get them ready for the next contest. Right, so here we are. I've been and taken the crane off, put the sideboard bed on, And I also gave it a bit of repair because it's been a workhorse. So that's a bit of a waste of money really, but so this task, I'm going to preload the cargo. Obviously I can get a crane anyway. So this task is new nest and requires 2 pallets of bricks to be delivered to the renovating house next to the Drummond Island gateway. So basically drive all the way around the twisty road, and when you get to here, come down. I know the line looks weird because I'm not here, but drive to here, 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 and deliver 2 pallets of bricks into that location. Now, I haven't attempted this yet, but what I did do is get a rough idea when I was driving the pickup truck down to do the contest on Drummond Island. I took a rough idea of how long it will take to drive this in a pickup truck, and it's not far off. You got 9.5 minutes. So I'm not going to mess around with shortcuts or anything like that. I'm just going to basically drive the road. The interesting thing about this one, let's just preload the bricks, is you have to stay in cab view. It's a bit like the Scout one on the meteorology data, is it? So you have to stay in cab view. You can't, if you come out of cab view, you fail. But it is basically road driving all the way, except for a little bit of muddy trail at the end, from what I can see. So I'm just going to go for it. Uh, 9.5 minutes. Cockpit view required. That's it now. Off we go. I haven't tried this. I didn't do this on my campaign one. I'm just trying it dry now. This is my first of 3 attempts. But I have roughly timed the route in a pickup truck, and I believe that I can make it just by driving the road. There's no sort of damage progress bar, so there's no damage limitation on this. It is just stay in cockpit view. Of course it's getting dark, but this is one that I don't mind doing this route in the dark. It's a bit less good for you guys to see what's going on maybe, but I'm in cockpit view anyway, so it doesn't make too much difference. It's also a road that I've driven quite a few times by now, so shouldn't be any nasty surprises. As long as I can stay on the tarmac and not hit a gully on the side and tip over like I'm prone to doing. And as long as I don't come around the corner too fast and miss the janky bridge. Apart from the fact the crane is gone, the reason I'm using this one is I just feel it feels more powerful, and it's just feels like a more stable platform than the Fleet Star. But to be fair, I've been driving this mostly with a low saddle and a crane. Fleet Star's had cargo in a sideboard bed, so I haven't really compared it side by side. It's a little bit of a rightward camber slope. Should be safe enough. You don't notice that slope so much when you're not in cockpit view. So yeah, I'm not dissing the Fleet Star, but this just feels a bit more planted. I love the engine noises inside the cockpit. Or cab, I don't know, they call it cockpit view I think on the task, but cab view, maybe they call it cab view. Right, here we go, this is the janky bridge, I recognise the corner, so let's just, coming around there a bit too fast and barrelling down there to the left would be fun, right? Not. Don't get the rear axle off the bridge. That felt a little bit dodgy. And then I know there's a big pit on the left right there, so we'll stick right to avoid that. Nine and a half minutes? How am I doing? I don't know. I don't think we're far away. I know the marker for where we leave the road says 600 meters as the crow flies, but I feel like we're around this bend, or the next one should be the trailer park, trailer store. And then the warehouse. Damage. Okay, so this on the left here is the trailer store. On the right we'll pass the warehouse. Feels like a reasonably good time to me. And then 150, 120 meters, 100 meters. We have to leave the road and not get complacent about this dirt track. Because again, silver is better than tipping it and getting nothing. But of course I'll want to get gold. Can't see the road so well. Does that feel alright? Don't know if I need the diff lock, but precautionary, put the diff lock on. In case there's any sticky stuff. It's telling me that the terrain is too hard for diff lock. Let's get it back in auto. And then right, oh, 7:14. So we had 9.5 minutes for that. We got 7:14. Fuel, because engine off because I can't spare the fuel. So that's ticked it in terms of the task is done, but obviously I've got 2 more attempts to do on that. It's quite a long run to even think about including that, so I won't, basically. But I'm now going to attempt the one that I epically failed 2 episodes ago, where I rolled down. I still think it was the right route, I just think it was the wrong truck. And to prove it to myself, I'm still gonna try the same thing again. That worked very badly last time. So I'm going to drive to the warehouse. I'm going to check my fuel, make sure I have got enough fuel, because if I haven't, I'm screwed, because I haven't got any fuel this side of the map unless I go into Drummond for it. And try that, which will be the last item in Michigan. Apart from logging contract. I keep forgetting logging contracts, but I have decided that I'm going to do them before I leave, so I shouldn't forget them. So attempts left 2. We've got 8 minutes. Maximum 200 damage to the truck is the limitation on this one. Handbrake is off, engine is on. Go. I hope I can do this. I've only got 2 attempts left. I hope I can do this. To be fair to the Fleet Star on the last attempt, I just barreled into the corner and off the road. If I look at it and approach it, I kind of snatched it. I just didn't drive carefully, didn't plan, didn't think, just rushed into it. This time I've had the benefit of looking at that piece of road while I was staring at my inverted Fleet Star. It's quite a heavy cargo though. What I generally don't know whether this is another one where if I just drove around the road, would that give me plenty of time? And am I trying to do a crazy route? Intuitively, that's a bit of damage. Intuitively, it feels like the road would be too long, but it felt like that for the mission, the contest that we just did. Right, so this is it. This is where I need to leave the road, and this is where it all went wrong with the Fleet Star. So let's please not repeat. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Time's ticking away. I'm not tipped over. I'm stuck. Wow. Adrenaline, adrenaline. It's not good for you. A little bit more damage. This looks gnarly. We'll point straight down the hill and cross everything. Oh, bloody hell. So how much time did I lose on being stuck? A minute? Maybe? That was a little bit reckless. I'm just taking a straight line. I kind of need to find the road, but there are logs and trees to winch to. So I'm just taking a straight line to the target, rather than worrying about the road. Let's get it into dip block because of this type of terrain. So that down power line there tells me that this is the track. Winch, 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 winch. What's my time like? I'm over, aren't I? Eight minutes was it for this one? Am I over? I don't know. Oh, no way. Less than 6 minutes. Alright, I got gold. Engine off because I haven't got the fuel to spare. I got gold. So, oh, blimey. My heart is racing so much. I got gold on my second attempt. I thought I'd screwed it when I got stuck on that tree. I really did. Started panicking a little bit, trying all kinds of funny things. Noticed that I couldn't reverse because I'd winched downhill, not uphill. But less than 6 minutes. Considering I got stuck on the way, I'll take that. It's obviously no world record, although I suspect that's probably the route people take for the world record. That seems like a splendid place to end the episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Quite a high adrenaline episode for me because there was quite a few high risky activities going on there. And weirdly, the places that I rolled trucks in this episode were not the high risk bits. So it's a bit strange, but anyway. I enjoyed making it. It was fun. I will get it edited. Hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much and goodbye.